Hey everybody, it's Chris Hayes with TwistedMindDesign, and I wanted to show you the candle holders that I have been working on. I showed them in the forums, so this is one of them right here. And everybody really seems to like them, which is kind of cool. But they're made with 8 gauge base wire and 16 gauge wrap wire. And a lot of people were really concerned about how hard it was to work with them and with those wires, and oh, that would kill my hands, and it really doesn't bother me. So what I do is I have these work gloves, and you see they're in really good shape, but those, obviously I'm right-handed, so that's the area right there that's getting the most of the work, and so it gets torn up, but it's okay because I can move it to different areas. And I kind of like this. I might actually come out with a product of gloves that has these 2 fingers opened up, so you could just pop them off, do what you need to do, answer your cell phone stuff, and get back to work when you need to. So you saw the candle holder. Well, this is what it looks like when it is wrapped, when it's done, and it's considerably long. This one is actually shorter than the 2 that I've already done. This one, I believe, is about 40 inches in length from head to toe. And then I've got another one here that I'm working on to make a smaller one. So what I wanted to show you is the basic technique that I use for wrapping it. And so I'll try to stand over here to the side. Hopefully you can kind of see what's going on. But so I've already started it. It's a little bit hard when you first start to get this wrapped, but it's always hard to get started when you're starting to wrap anything. So that's really shouldn't be that much of a surprise. But once you get going, it's easier because you've got more to hold on to down here. And I would normally do it like this. And I do actually usually stand up because the rest of this wire is really long and dangly. I've still got it coiled a little bit. So I get it good and straight with my hands, and then just wrap it around, and I pull it, and if you can see, I'm pulling it with my whole hand, and I'm hitting the door. It's important that you hit the door. But I'm pulling with my whole hand and my whole arm around there. So see, it tightens down. So I'm doing a 3 and 3. That's what I call it. So I'm doing 3 across both and 3 on just one wire. So there's the second one, and there's the third one. So again, I'm holding it tight and pulling it around, right? And then this one, it's the same thing. Sometimes I'll actually even switch over to my left hand and wrap that around because it's easier to get around this side at this point because it's shorter. Push those down a little bit and just keep going. 3 on this side, and then 3 on this side. But once you get further into it, I mean, you really, like I was trying to tell people, I really use my whole arms to do this. And I'm even holding this with these 3 fingers in my palms. So I'm not even using my normal fingers that I would because they've got these big holes. So it's my whole arm that's wrapping it. Does that make sense? Grr. They feel so strong. It's my huge pectoral muscles. It's kind of that's my de facto bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, combined with a line from Ren and Stimpy, if you've ever watched that. So that's about it. I just wanted to show you guys kind of the technique that I'm using for wrapping these things. And you know, it's up and over, around. Sometimes it gets a little tight in there, so you got to really open these things up. These guys can twist sometimes a little bit too. So you can kind of bend them a little bit. But that's about it. I'm trying to keep it up here so you can see. Normally I'd have it down lower. I'd be sitting down sometimes if it's short enough. Usually watching TV, watching Netflix, usually some sci-fi, some nerdy stuff. But you know, the other thing I can do is just kind of kick it over and then tighten it down. So throw it over there and then tighten it down and then go back to my inside loop. That's it. So what I do is I actually will wrap this entire thing, just like this one, in an entire straight line. And I actually do several of my wraps this way just because I thought, I wonder if I could do that. So I'll wrap the entire thing in a straight line and then I'll make it into whatever I'm making it into. So I have other techniques that I use for doing that, and maybe I'll do that on a later video if you guys are interested. Okay? I hope that you got something out of this, and once again, the candle holder, and I hope to be able to sell some of these things, but you know what, other than that, they're just kind of cool to have around, so I like having them. Alright, thanks a lot guys, and once again, it's Chris Hayes with TwistedMindDesign. Bye.